Next, Alfo Media. My favorite song by every musician? Probably not everyone, but it is a 55-minute video, so it's going to be a lot of them. What I'm going to do here is, if there's an artist that I'm familiar with that I like, or that I'm just slightly familiar with and I know like more than 2 songs by, I will also tell you my favorite song by them if I can think of just one. What's good? Let's
A
get
couple
into it.
weeks ago, I came up with the bright idea to talk about my favorite track from any and
Welcome
every
back, man.
musician that you might be curious about, with upwards of 150 replies and many people naming multiple artists in those replies. I will now be going in alphabetical order, describing the songs I treasure the most by a given band, rapper, singer, whatever. Each choice will depend on a million different factors, with the main one being, well, my personal preference. The word favorite means the one I like the most, and maybe I recognize that it's not the absolute highest quality option, or sometimes it's my favorite and I also think it's the best. Many of these
with certain artists like Ye, of course, like my favorite, like at least my top 10, I'm just gonna go with favorite currently because they rotate a lot, they change a lot. Like Ye, I have a different favorite Ye song like every few days, every week even. You know what I mean? So
musicians
I'll just go with like
I could write a book report on. Many of them I'm naming one of the only songs I know by them. These choices will vary depending on my own nostalgia, more objective technical characteristics, and the same goes for my quote-unquote analysis too. Sometimes I'll be in depth and sometimes I'll be like, song good, because there are almost 300 of these, and I'm gonna run out of brain power if I try to be a scholar the whole time. For what it's worth, these were the artists that were named that I either don't know anything about.
Okay, let's go through here real quick and see if there's any that I know songs from. Beast Coast. I don't know any particular Beast Coast songs, but I know they have a cipher that I really like. Who else? Cave Town. There's a couple songs I like by Cave Town. I can't think of the names off top, but I got some songs by Cave Town I like. Fool by Cave Town is cool. City Morgue. Again, I don't know anything in particular by just City Morgue, but I've listened to Zilla for years, so that kind of counts. Dayglow. I feel like I know one song by Dayglow. I guess not. I recognize the name though. Eric Doa. I feel like I recognize the name. I don't have any songs liked. All right, let's see who else. Gucci High Waters. I used to listen to Gucci High Waters all the time, bro. I'm so sick of this, I guess is a good one. Who else we got, bro? Jesse Reyes. I recognize that name, man. Far Away by Jesse Reyes. Lil TJ. I don't really have a favorite song by him. I know of his music, he's okay, but not a fan for real. NASCAR Aloe. I can't think of a solo song, so I'm not gonna go with any of those. Quedeca, Shades of Us. I love Shades of Us. That song is crazy. Sisyphus is also really good, but Shades of Us is crazy. That's it. I don't recognize anyone else on here.
Or if I do know them, I'm not quite interested enough to have a favorite song by them. And then with these, I know enough about them, but I still don't have a favorite song.
Okay, Halsey, it's between 100 Letters, Now or Never, and Without Me with Juice WRLD. Those have to be. It's between those 3, but I like some of her other songs. And then Fun, just like, of course, it's Some Nights. I feel like I like another song by them. We Are Young. Yeah, Some Nights is cool, but We Are Young is crazy, bro. That song is hard.
Bugging Out by A Tribe Called Quest combines an addictive bass line with lighthearted, clever lyrics that I could recite in my sleep. A$AP Ferg's Work remix.
Oh, okay, we're going fast. Hold on a second. Okay, A Tribe Called Quest, Electric Relaxation. I just love that beat. A$AP Ferg. Either Madman or maybe probably Madman. I like Madman a lot. That's been one of my favorites from him since I listened to Still Striving. Tango is also pretty good. Work Remix is up there though, but it's not my favorite. I'll say Madman, at least currently. I've been playing that one, a lot more.
It was an all-time hype song for me in high school. Coogee down to the socks like I'm Biggie Papa. Keep your girl head in my Tommy boxers was everything. Gimme, gimme, gimme is
ABBA. I still haven't listened to any songs from ABBA, but I have a few albums saved, so I'll get to
top tier ABBA. The synth in this song goes crazy, and I feel like it's one of those melodies that you just come out of the womb already knowing. I had a big AC/DC phase in elementary school, and You Shook Me All Night Long was my go-to for carpool karaoke. It makes you feel like the main character. The Unthinkable remix by Alicia
Keys. In Common by Alicia Keys is overall my favorite song by her, only because of the fact that I found it on my own, or it found me. Really, I could tell you the story, but I'm gonna tell you the story anyways, right? So I knew about Alicia Keys, right? My mom played Alicia Keys all the time growing up, right? Here, summer 16, right? I had discovered MTV for real a few months before, and I used to fall asleep with my TV on, so I had on MTV, and one night I just woke up in the middle of the night for no reason, and it was right when Music Feed was about to come on. And the first song I heard was In Common by Alicia Keys. And this was crazy because my whole life, I remember knowing that MTV stopped playing music videos because they were weird and they just didn't do that anymore. So I was like, oh my God, they play music videos now? Hard. And that song, like, that beat's crazy. The vibe is crazy. I just love that song.
Keys featuring Drake has this soap opera-y drama to it that I'm a sucker for. Come on, it's a classic. Amy Winehouse's He Can Only Hold Her is this romantic, yet kind of depressing look at relationships that I really appreciate. Come Down by Anderson .Paak.
Probably same. It's either Come Down. No. Hold on a second. Not Bubbling. Without You by Anderson .Paak is my favorite song, but Come Down is the first song I heard by him, and it's up there, but Without You is my favorite.
Is overflowing with charisma and heart. It's infectious in the same way that James Brown makes you want to get up and dance. Yep. This is one of many answers where my obsession with Kanye kind of hijacks another musician's entry, but April 14th.
Yes, literally. That's gotta be my favorite song by Aphex Twin. If it's not that, it's IZ-US or Is Us, whatever. I love that song because Frank Ocean had it on Blonded Radio on GTA. But April 14th, I play that song all the time.
Is gorgeous regardless of that association. Arca's Anoche is hauntingly beautiful.
Arca. I feel like my favorite song by Arca isn't really by Arca. It's Meditation by Babyfather featuring Arca. But I just love that song a lot, so I'll count
There's incredible depth to it, and it transports you to another world. Sprawl 2, Mountains Beyond Mountains, has a retro 80s aesthetic that I can't get enough of, and They Heard Me Singing and They Told Me to Stop is a great opening line. While it's certainly been played and replayed a lot over the years, 505...
Yes, it's either 505 or I Want to Be Yours. Arctic Monkeys, crazy. 505 has been played way too much, overplayed a lot. But it never gets old still.
Is still top-notch Arctic Monkeys. Yep. The build-up throughout the track and that eventual release is euphoric. Ariel Pink's Another Weekend is a hazy, psychedelic pop that will leave you hypnotized. I Come to Aries for extremely catchy, easy listening, and Ditto exemplifies that perfectly. I must have listened to it 20 times in a row when it first came out. A song like Complicated by Avril
Lavigne, Girlfriend. I will ride or die for that song, bro. Like, I discovered that song on a video game. I heard Girlfriend on Burnout Paradise in, what, 09? No, because I didn't have PlayStation 09. So either 2010 or 2011. Whenever I got that game, that's how I heard that song. So that's like still my favorite song by her.
Lavigne transcends its own cheesiness for me. It's corny in the best way possible. Private Idaho by the B-52s features incomparable harmonies. The band is wacky, yes, but also very talented. Orange Soda is
Baby Keem, okay. 16 by Baby Keem has to be my favorite song.
song that introduced me to Baby Keem, and it succeeds in how effortlessly cool everything feels. A lot of rappers wouldn't be able to pull this track off. Backwash's I Lie Here Buried With My Rings and My Dresses is aggressive, passionate, scary even, but more than anything, it means something. Last Day on Earth fits into...
Hold on a second, because I think I have a favorite. Care. That's the only song I know by her. Care.
One of my favorite niche subgenres, and that is songs that sound like they should be on the soundtrack to the 1999 rom-com She's All That. Beach House's Levitation.
Beach House. Space Song. It's got to be Space Song by Beach House. Silver Soul is another good one, but Space Song, I just play that one a lot more.
Is transcendent. The part that goes, the branches of the trees, they will hang lower now, makes me want to fly. Picking a favorite Beatles song was the hardest part about making this video. As a child, I loved With a Little Help from My Friends. Then growing up, Maxwell Silverhammer blew my mind, and recently I've been obsessed with Something, Here, There, Everywhere, I've Just Seen a Face, so I'm including all of them. If you're somebody that complains about missing real hip-hop, Benny the Butcher has you covered. Burden of Proof.
Benny the Butcher. Recently, I've been playing Rivy a lot. 97 Hove is probably my overall favorite, though, so I'll go with that. 97 Hove.
Proof is a fantastic opener that shows you just how good he is at rapping. Super ahead of her time, insanely groovy, rest in peace to a legend. Beyonce obviously has plenty to choose from.
She does, and I love her self-titled album so much. Man, Beyonce. I'm gonna have to say this is difficult, bro. If we're going solely off of solo work, right, on her albums, I might just have to agree with Partition, bro, and just go with that.
But Partition stands out for me. The sound bites are intriguing, and the two halves of the song complement one another really well. The remix to Country Shit by Big Crit featuring Bun B and Ludacris is a quintessential introduction to Southern hip-hop. This is very new, but Simulation Swarm is the kind of song that makes me question what's possible within music as an art form in general. Adrienne Lenker's songwriting is masterful. When it comes to favorite Billie Eilish.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Because I could either go with the first song I heard from her, or I could go with something I've been playing a lot recently, right? So if we're going by first song, it's 6 Feet Under. That song is crazy. I love that song, bro, and I will always love that song. But if we're going by recently, it's between Your Power and Billy Bossa Nova. I'll just say Your Power. I'll say Your Power.
Stuff, for me at least, the conversation's gonna revolve around the production. The two tracks that technically just sound like God to me are Bellyache and My Future. Leave a Tender Moment alone shows off Billy's singing chops, and it also features a special performance on harmonica by the legendary Toots Thielman. Bjork's Cocoon is my go-to example for world building within music. For a little under 5 minutes, you'll feel at home in whatever galaxy this woman is from. The changing rhythms in Good Will Hunting are mind-blowing, and I can't get that Billie Eilish line out of my head. Black Flag's Nervous Breakdown has one of the most iconic riffs in the history of punk rock. I've never been too much of a Black Keys guy, but Tighten Up is my preferred choice when it comes to their big singles. I like the whistling, I guess. In a discography full of creative rock songs, Speedway is my favorite from Black Midi. It sounds like the theme song to some demented arcade racing game. Okay, are you happy?
Drain Gang.
Is this
Blade? I don't have a favorite song by Blade.
A satisfactory choice? I'm not much of a Bleachers fan, but I remember them doing this during their Tiny Desk, and that sax line scratches an itch in my brain. You're Not Good Enough by Blood Orange is a cocky, danceable piece of R&B pop that would make Prince proud. Damon Albarn is a man of many talents, and Beetlebum is sort of a unique example of his capabilities. He can bend various genres together with Gorillaz. he can say woohoo pretty well, but people forget that he can also make quaint, dreamy love songs about drugs, too. That Funny Feeling and All Eyes on Me are legitimately outstanding songs, but for Bo Burnham's Inside, I'm gonna go with Look Who's Inside again. The
Bo
irony
Burnham's
touched
album.
on here is tragic, and there's this comforting, dark humor to it that I resonate with a lot. People joke about Bob Dylan's vocals, but I think he sounds really pleasant on Mr. Tambourine Man. Part of me wanted to pick something off of 22 a Million, or maybe the song Holocene, but it's always Forever Ago that I come back to. And at the end of this heartbreaking album, we get Re-Stacks.
Bon Iver. Woods. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it, bro. It's Woods. Or Roslyn. Roslyn is really good. But Woods. It's gotta be Woods. Only because, like, again, like you said, Ye just hijacks his whole career for me. I got introduced to Bon Iver because of Lost in the World.
A cleansing, gentle hug of a song that makes me feel like it's gonna be okay. I have two choices for Bright Eyes, and it's between what's probably his lyrical magnum opus, Let's Not Shit Ourselves, and the saddest sad boy song there is, It's Cool, We Can Still Be Friends. One of the greatest moments in cinematic history is James Franco basically playing a riffraff surrounded by gun-toting girls in ski masks at a white piano in front of the sunset, singing Every Time by Britney Spears. As Franco's character explained,
Britney Spears, I don't know, because I like a lot of her. Hold on, I don't have any of her songs liked. I gotta go to my nostalgia playlist. There's a whole different vibe right here. Oops, I did it again.
She's an angel if there ever was one on this earth. Brockhampton is another where I could
1999 Wildfire or No Halo.
Couldn't just pick one. Gold is my favorite that shows off their rapping. Waste was the soundtrack to my 2017 obsession with them. Sugar is an impeccable pop song. And San Marcos means a lot for the story of the group and their history. I think Treasure is far and away the best.
Bruno Mars. Locked Out of Heaven. Only purely off nostalgia, which Treasure is very nostalgic too, but Locked Out of Heaven, that's one song that really just, I felt that song differently when it came out, bro.
Song from Bruno Mars. I don't care how many times I've heard it. This thing is timeless. BTS, I don't know too many BTS songs, but I remember someone sending me Love Maze, and it reminded me how entertaining boy bands can be. Thank you, Jimin. Telescope by
Cage the Elephants. Cold, Cold, Cold. Or no, Broken Boy. Nah, Broken Boy. Broken Boy. It's easily Broken Boy. Only because of the Invincible soundtrack, but
Cage the Elephant captures the same coming-of-age vibes that a lot of their stuff does, but in a way that hits a little deeper than usual. Bodies by Car Seat Headrest is a song that means the world to me. Its frantic stream-of-consciousness lyrics and fourth wall breaks relating to the structure of the song that you're listening to make me feel like I'm not alone. I don't think Cardi B has topped Bodak Yellow.
If we're gonna go off of what I know from Cardi B, Money. And it's not even, I don't even like that song. I just love that beat. If we're getting real technical, I only like that song because of I Don't Buy Designer, I Steal It by I'm Dante. So.
And it's going to be pretty hard to do so. She's so hungry on this, and culturally, I think this song created a major shift in hip hop. Carly Rae Jepsen's
also, yeah, Run Away With Me. I love that song so much. It's so good.
Run Away With Me is pop music at its best. Full of life, masterful production, and it's something that you can't help but scream along to. Even if we were just going off of the melodies, So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings is phenomenal, but sometimes I forget how funny these lyrics are too. I was listening to acid rap within
Chance the Rapper All Night. All Night regular version or K Tronada edit.
The hour that it came out, and between then and the following couple of years, I probably listened to Cocoa Butter Kisses 300 or 400 times.
It's a good song.
I think we all addicted. Charlie has plenty of bangers, but realistically, there was only
Charlie XCX. Man, I don't know. Nah, Brian checking out any music, bro. Charlie XCX. Maybe Break the Rules. maybe break the rules, I guess.
Only one option in my head.
I still have to get more into the music,
aesthetic
though.
created by her and Sophie on this thing is once in a lifetime stuff. Charlie Bliss combines power pop with a little bit of grunge, and Glitter is where that fusion reaches its peak. While Chase Egley has much more complex songs than this one, Best Friend is just such a well-crafted pop tune, and specifically, I'm including the live single version that has an extra verse on it. Claro's another one whose journey I've
Claro. Okay, Claro. It's either Bags, or this is hard actually. I'm gonna say Bags. I'm gonna say Bags. Yeah, Bags. I'll still go
followed
Bags.
from the start, and I'm gonna pull from both ends of her discography.
Okay.
Bubblegum is her most intimate and candid,
really good.
and then Amoeba shows her years of growth via the transition to folky influences. London Calling by The Clash is one of the best singles of the 70s.
I have a song by The Clash liked. I feel like that would be something I would just Straight to Hell. Yeah, that's all I know from that.
Iconic bass line, passionate, politically charged lyrics, and an authentic, raw sound. There is a Galaxy Brain instrumental on Say the Name by Clipping, and the flows are some of the most creative of the last few years. Coldplay's Strawberry Swing is a
Coldplay. Okay, so I automatically thought Yellow, but that's not even my favorite song by them. It's not Shiver either. Is either going to be Paradise or Viva La Vida. No, Paradise or Clocks. Paradise or Clocks.
Relaxing, enchanting song. Without You It's a Waste of Time is a simple but very, very sweet line. The intro to B is super
Common. Go.
Inviting. Between Common's poetic lyrics and arguably Kanye's greatest instrumental, this is one of the most likable pieces of music that I can think of. You might be seeing a pattern for some of the things that I like, and Pictures of You by The Cure is a prime example, combining a dramatic, near-theatrical delivery with a somewhat depressing, romantic message is like a cheat code for me. Touch by Daft Punk is...
Daft Punk. Ooh, Touch is a really good song. Daft Punk, I got into Daft Punk before I got into like half the rappers I listen to, bro. More than half. Daft Punk. So, yikes. I'm going to pick like 3 for Daft Punk. I'm going to say The Funk. I'm going to say Revolution 909. And I'm going to say Aerodynamic. No, Digital Love. We'll go for those 3, but I could literally name like 15 more.
It's important to me for many reasons, but its connection to Paul Williams and one of my favorite musicals, The Phantom of the Paradise, makes it all the more special. This is one of the sexiest songs.
D'Angelo, is that the one? Hold on a second. I'm gonna play the beat. Hold on a second. Oh, Cats in 90s. Is that this beat? Cause I know it's a D'Angelo beat, but I don't know what. I had some bitches on my line. I told them bitches get they lips back. Whatever beat that is, I love. That's my favorite D'Angelo
songs and music videos of all time.
Going with it.
It's art. Triple X is one of my favorite albums, and Monopoly is
Danny Brown, man. Danny Brown. This is difficult. I guess really though, because that's the one I play the most solo. Yeah, that one.
Track that defines it for me.
But
it's that idiosyncratic combination of Danny that is strange, offensive, and comical. David Bowie's Starman has one of my favorite choruses. There's a real sense of fantasy and wonder that sweeps over you.
Life on Mars. I forgot about Life on Mars. When
it comes around. Raise Your Hand If I Will Follow You Into the Dark was the first thing you tried learning on guitar. Tachyon by Death Grips is probably my...
I still have to get into Death Grips. I've been hyper focused on, other people in the experimental rap world that I just haven't taken time to even listen to The Money Store or anything else.
Number 1 pump up song. MC Ride's delivery makes me feel like I could lift up a car. And Threats by
That's like, ooh, Threats is a good choice. Threats is a good one. Maybe I'm gonna say either, because this is a lot for Zell. Sirens. It's either Sirens Good Night, or maybe. Nah, I'm not gonna count that. I'll just say Sirens or Good Night, I guess. But the rest is a good choice.
Denzel Curry has a similar effect.
I like that.
Specifically the line, bumpin' Waka Flocka Flame in a underwater tank. Depeche Mode's policy of truth is mysterious, a little seductive, and it's a solid representation of the 80s flowing into the 90s. I don't want to sound too annoying.
Ditto. Thank you. I have to be that guy. Thank you, by Ditto.
But they really don't make them like this anymore. Dijon's The Dress.
Dijon! Oh, Dijon! The Dress is a really good one. I love The Dress. It's between, and I'm bringing up live versions too. It's between Many Times Live, Talk Down, or Annie. The Dress is up there. Nico's Red Truck is up there, but oh man,
is the song I've listened to the most over the last 5 months or so. A variety of influences combining flawlessly for one of the smoothest things I've ever heard. Introducing is right up there with Donuts for the definitive hip-hop instrumental album, and Midnight in a Perfect
Yes, DJ Shadow Midnight in a Perfect World
is a spiritual experience. One of my favorite live performances in history is DMX doing.
I guess currently it'd be Bath Salts, but overall DMX. Ah man, bro, there's so many good choices here. I guess Party Up or Bath Salts.
Rough Riders anthem to what appears to be a few billion people. Dominic Fike blew up because of his more upbeat stuff.
Dominic Fike, that one song was Phone Numbers? Yeah, Phone Numbers. Dominic Fike, Kenny Beats.
But a song like Socks shows a more interesting side of him to me. I'm on the edge of my seat throughout its entire runtime. I've still yet to do a real deep dive into The Doors, but the organ on Light My Fire rips. Don't care if it's a cover, Heart It Races is my favorite from Dr. Dog. It's a carefree sing-along that would mean a lot to me to see live. There's a level of...
Drizzy Drake! Okay, Drake was my first favorite rapper, so I literally know like his entire discography up till recently. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of choices here. Because I know so much, this is where I'm going to go into the favorites currently and not overall. Currently, I'd have to say Feel No Ways. I feel like I've just been playing that one a lot more recently. Or What's Next remix with Baby Keem. But probably Feel No Ways.
Honesty and relatability within Feel No Ways
there we go,
I don't think you get too often with Drake. This choice might seem weird, but my entry for both Earl Sweatshirt
and Tyler Orange? Okay, nah. I'm going to split them up. I can't even do that. You're crazy. All right, Earl Sweatshirt. Earl, currently probably sick, but overall, I'm going to have to say Grief by Earl. And Tyler, currently probably Corso. I think I've been playing Corso a lot. No, currently Sir Baudelaire. But overall, I don't even know what to. I don't know. I can't name every Tyler song.
And Tyler, the Creator, is going to be their collab on Orange Juice. This helped me appreciate both of their styles, and it still hits even after those styles have changed dramatically. Gimme Love is my...
Ed Sheeran, The A-Team. I love The A-Team by Ed Sheeran. It's so
favorite
good.
Ed Sheeran song because it's back when his tracks were more personal, and he takes a couple of risks with the structure. My favorite Eiffel 65 song is...
We know, bro. There's only like there's only like 2 valid songs.
The double
bro.
entendres in Baby Britain by Elliott Smith are unbelievable, and sonically, it reminds me of a theme song to a children's TV show or something. I treasure songs like Rocket Man because you're seeing an artist romanticize something on a whole new plane. It's nice hearing very specific details about someone's life, but it's also fun to daydream and musically cosplay as someone else. Erykah Badu's live performance.
Oh man, that live performance of Tyrone is crazy. Crazy, bro. But I can't agree. There's a song that I don't have liked and I can't think of the name. It's on one of her more recent albums that I really like. I guess just to save time, I'll say On and On, but you know,
of Tyrone is legendary, and I feel like a large percentage is due to the atmosphere in that room. The audience reacting to the lyrics, Erykah reacting to the audience, them reacting back to her, and so on. While the title track on Father John Misty's pure comedy is genius, I think Total Entertainment Forever.
Father John Misty. I don't have any songs liked by him solo. I haven't gotten him solo. But I guess if we're going off of what I know, Young Lady by Kid Cudi featuring Father John
packs an equivalent punch while being a more replayable song. Faye Webster's delicate voice and sultry.
Hey, I just got into Faye Webster like literally 4 days ago, bro. I just found her music, so Kingston, because that's the only song I know from her.
Delivery works wonders on this kind of slow, jazzy, soft rock tune. The harmonies are lovely, and the sax is the glue that keeps this vibe together. It took years for us to finally get a hold of it, but I Want You to Love Me by Fiona Apple is indescribable.
I gotta get
eclectic, rebellious, and it's the closest a song can be to getting a weight off your shoulders. Frank Ocean was another tough one.
Ooh. Man, this is going to be difficult. Okay. If we're going off of singles, right? Singles, Provider. No, Novocaine. Oh my God, this is so hard. This is so hard. He has too much good music. I wish he would flop just once. Just once. Put out a bad song, man. I hate this. All right, currently I'll say Crack Rock, I guess. I don't know, bro.
Kind of. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Self-Control is a top 5 favorite song of all time for me. So that's automatically in. But I just have to mention Forrest Gump, Chanel, the solo version of Biking. Yeah, he's pretty good. What a weird, brilliant man Frank Zappa was. Frat Mouse verse The Department of Motor Vehicles shows off one of the cornerstones of Midwest emo / pop rock. Lashing out at someone probably because of your own insecurities. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib are
Freddie Gibbs, half main, half cocaine, only because I played it like 4 times today.
So well suited for one another that you might not even want to add anybody else to that mixture, but somebody like Benny the Butcher or Killer Mike would fit seamlessly. However, Danny Brown, of all people, really completes their song high. There's a reason why Twin Size Mattress is the Front Bottom's biggest song. It's hard-hitting storytelling, but I'm also going to mention Maps because that's the one I do my best impression of. Maybe I'm underestimating Future's catalog.
Future! I'm going to say, if we're going off nostalgia, I'll say... Dang, there's a lot of nostalgic Future songs I know. Like a lot of them. Currently, I guess we'll go for... This is actually very difficult. This is very difficult. And I'm going off of solo work, not features. Solo work, not features with Future. I guess what's Riding Strikers? I guess. Or Coding Crazy, because Coding Crazy just never gets old.
A little bit, but the answer's March Madness, right?
Okay.
If you just type in trap music online, this should be the first result that comes up.
Pretty much.
The beat puts you in a trance, Future becomes your guide for the next 4 minutes. I've never heard anyone say the title of this out loud, so yes, I like the Garden Sad Face song, with all the sound effects, the goofy interlude that splits the track in half, and the manic nature of these vocals. It's an engaging chaos. Ghost is a very very playful band, and Ritual is so catchy that it almost blurs the lines between heavy metal and like power pop. Call me crazy, but I could see this as a radio hit. I'm not gonna pretend like 20-minute instrumental post-rock songs are my field of expertise, but of course I've listened to one of the most beloved music nerd albums, and the opening movement, Storm, is what stayed with me the most. Gorillaz was the band my followers were most curious about.
Gorillaz, I have to admit, bro. I'm gonna come clean. I don't know too much about Gorillaz. I know 2 songs about Gorillaz. So Feel Good Inc. because
and my answer's Dare. From hilarious lead vocals to the story behind the naming of the song, the way the background singer clashes with Sean is bizarre yet appealing. You can dance to it, yada yada yada. Green Day's Brain Stew rule.
Green Day. Probably also Brain Stew. I was never really into Green Day that much. They're definitely not my favorite band at all. Not even close. It's either Brain Stew or American Idiot.
And I'm Counting Sheep, but Running Out is a clever way to describe insomnia. Delete Forever by Grimes shows that sometimes less is more.
Like any of her songs.
This is rather minimalist by her standards, and her vulnerability is evident. Gus Dapperton's Prune You Talk Funny is a lush, shimmering jangle pop tune that has a music video that will probably be etched into my brain forever. Cool by Gwen Stefani is exceptional.
Do I even have to say it, bro? You know my favorite song by Gwen Stefani, man.
Songwriting. The concept of 2 exes being happy for one another, that they both eventually found what they were looking for, is enough to bring me to tears. Leaning on You by Haim is a country folk-inspired song.
I just found out about them because I discovered a song that I always skipped on this one album, and I love them. But I haven't gotten into any of their solo work yet, so can't answer yet.
That has plenty of personality. Rich Girl is one of those songs that I would be so shocked to hear anybody say that they hate. On the other hand, Bambi by Hippocampus is a track that's so sugary sweet and kind of stereotypical of the rising indie pop scene of 2018 that I could see people disliking it, but depending on my mood, the easiest listening can be the most appealing option. Ice Cube's signature solo song,
Ice Cube. It's either It Was a Good Day or No Vaseline.
It Was a Good Day is another idea songwriting-wise that's so out of the box. When gangster rap was prevalent and you're one of the leading guys in that subgenre, why not make a song about everything being peaceful for once? Idles doing Never Fight a Man with a
Idols. Progress, Beachland Ballroom, or Car Crash. One of the 3. Mr. Motivator is also really good, but one of those
at Mercury Prize 2019 is just something else. The unbridled aggression from Joe as the band performs for people sitting at dinner tables is dystopian. Indigo Girls is a band that admittedly I'm not too familiar with, but I've always enjoyed Galileo. This track reminds me of how John Lennon wrote Imagine in a way that brings up deeper topics about bettering yourself and society at large, but the artist is only planting a seed. The real work has to be done by the listener. With Injury Reserve, I'm gonna pick from either end of their discography.
Still haven't gotten into
is the banger that introduced me to the group, and Knees is an otherworldly example of their growth and experimentation. I prefer the old days of J. Cole when he...
J. Cole. Jermaine. Recently, I'd probably say, Folding Clothes. I've been playing that a lot recently, but overall, it's got to be either. It's got to be either. What's that one song, bro? Why can I not think of the name? I was literally playing it last night. Bro, where is it at? Power Trip, or She Knows. But something off Born Sinner. That's just because that's when I really got into J. Cole. Like, I knew of him before then, but I never really got into him. Mostly because I was mad young and didn't know about streaming services and only watched music videos. So that's how I listen to music. So it's one of those two because they had videos.
He was constantly trying to prove himself.
Nostalgia,
the Autograph and Return of Simba are ideal choices for that time period. For Jack Johnson, we will be doing the Curious George song. Listening to James Blake's self-titled debut album in
James Blake. It's hard to avoid songs with features. James Blake. I'm either gonna be basic and say retrograde, or I'm gonna be a hype beast and say mile high. So mile high.
2011 was huge for my taste in music expanding. Unluck is its cold, glitchy opener that sets the tone for this futuristic R&B art pop. Janelle Monáe's Pink is a very cute electro
Cold War
pop song, and the way we go from repetitive verse to things heating up a little bit for the pre-chorus and then an incredibly satisfying chorus, it's delightful. With Japanese Breakfast and Be Sweet.
Japanese Breakfast. I feel like I know a song by them. Japanese Breakfast. I don't. I actually don't. Okay.
Sweet. I've had Be Sweet to Me Baby, I Wanna Believe in You, I Wanna Believe trapped in my skull for a year now, and if you've heard this song even once, you'll know the exact lively tone in which we hear those words. Jason Isbell is a prime example that Americana country singer-songwriters are still putting out incredible material in the 21st century, and Alabama Pines is agonizing. With Jay-Z, there were a ton of options.
Jay-Z. Oh, bro. Oh, my goodness. I could go on and on and on and on and on with Jay-Z songs. So I'm just going to go with Currently Already Home by him and Kid Cudi, produced by Ye. I just love that song.
But so I'd be lying to myself if I didn't say PSA. A glorious beat from Just Blaze, who also does this resourceful manufactured sample thing during the intro, and then Jay-Z at his very best. Intoxicating bars with punchline after punchline. Gene Dawson is an
Starface.
Inventive, up-and-coming artist that is making radio-ready pop music, but its influences are all over the place. Devilish is a triumphant single, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Wave Goodnight to Me by Jeff Rosenstock was a breath of fresh air for punk music in the later 2010s. There's this anxious yet cheery nature to this track, and you're bound to have a good time with it. I've seen a lot of people talk about COVID TV shows and movies being a drag, but there have been a few sensational COVID songs. Example number one being Jensen McRae's hypothetical Phoebe Bridgers tribute about getting vaccinated. JID doesn't do a whole lot for me on
JID. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say that, man. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't just say that, okay? For me, I'm gonna say either Spaghetti. Nah, that's a Smino song, technically. 151 Rum or Big Black Truck, I guess.
Honestly, but I think his meandering flow and peculiar voice fits well on a Cartoon Network inspired song. Jim Croce's I Got a Name is 70s folk rock to a T, and a weird fun fact that I'm just now learning is that I've always thought of this as one of the prime examples of a singer-songwriter telling a story about their life, but he did not write this. My favorite Jimi Hendrix song is Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland? It feels like swimming slow motion through a psychedelic pool, and I like his ballads a lot. Survival Tactics by Joey
Same thing, I guess.
Badass was how him and Pro Era burst onto the scene, and it's easy.
No, it's either that or 9-5 to Infinity.
To see why. It's as exciting as an action movie, but the lyrics are deep, especially for how young they were at the time. Something that's probably top 10 on this list for me, John Mayer's Stop This Train is an astonishing look at mortality, and it's a lesson for songwriters everywhere. Don't know how else to say it, don't want to see my parents go, one generation's length away from fighting life out on my own. Out of the many John Williams film scores and individual compositions, while not as iconic as some of the main themes, Duel of the Fates is about as good as it gets. A lot of the stuff on Joji's EPs and first album.
Joji recently because I've been playing Nectar a lot recently and In Tongues a lot recently. So maybe I guess Reanimator or Afterthought. Or Modus. I'm gonna say Reanimator or Afterthought, I guess.
Blends in together for me, but his latest record is decent. A song like Sanctuary shows really how much better his voice and his hooks have gotten. Has the word bittersweet been put to music in a better way than Joy Division's Love Will Tear Us Apart? JPEG Mafia's Baby I'm Bleeding.
JPEG Mafia recently, I'm gonna say Rainbow Six, but overall probably all caps in the spaces. I guess that's like the epitome of JPEG Mafia's music. So I really like that song. But Baby I'm Bleeding
has genuinely one of the most original hip hop beats you'll ever hear, and Peggy spits over it like only he can. Juice WRLD was a supreme.
I'm gonna say difficult. We have like Life's a Mess. We have Armed and Dangerous. There's a lot, man. She has a lot of songs out, bro, and a lot that aren't out. But I'll say maybe Armed and Dangerous or Life's a Mess. The first one, not the second one. The first, like the original Life's a Mess.
Extreme talent, and his early passing was a tragedy. Lucid Dreams is one of the biggest earworms of the last decade or so. There's a short break around the halfway point of Phantom Part 2 by Justice that makes me feel...
Justice. Probably the same thing. Or Dance. It's either going to be Phantom Part 2 or Dance. Or Audio Video Disco. I forgot about that. I also like their Electric Feel remix. But I'll stick with Phantom Part 2.
Like I'm floating. The setup for the eventual drop is pure art. Justin Timberlake's Senorita has
either Cry Me a River or... Ooh, hold on a second, because I just thought about the 2020 experience. We got Suit and Tie. We got KTO. Or TKO. I don't know. If we're going purely off of nostalgia, solo work, Rock Your Body. But if we're going off of, currently, I guess Suit and Tides, because I've rediscovered that song.
Has a call and response thing that I've been singing along with for decades. Wow. And then Mirrors has that moment with the clapping and really that tasteful outro. I can't choose one. Something that should have been a way bigger hit than it was. I think High Horse by Casey Musgraves has been pretty influential for pop music over the last few years. There have been resurgences in both disco and like roasting your ex, and I think that this track plays a big part in that. Sorry if you don't want to count this, but my favorite Kaliucha song is her feature on 10.
Alright, I'll let it slide. For me, it's gotta be it's actually difficult. I don't have any solo songs like After the Storm, I guess.
10% by Kaytranada. Shout out to this Grammy Award-winning duo that both seem to really bring out the best in whoever they're collabing with. My favorite Kanye song is probably...
I don't even... Alright. Currently by Ye. Probably, what have I been playing a lot by Ye recently? Addiction.
Ye versus the... I'm just kidding.
I was about to say,
that other one. For Kate Bush, it's hard picking between the bold, quirky beginnings of Wuthering Heights and the polished, progressive masterpiece.
Kate Bush. I think I have one song liked by Kate Bush. Babushka. That's it.
That is running up that hill. Katy Perry's Teenage Dream.
Katy Perry. Dark Horse is still up there for me. That's off of nostalgia. All of her songs are off of nostalgia, actually. I haven't really listened to her past 2015. But, yeah, I guess that.
Had a few massive hits, but the title track has always been my choice. There's a warm, passionate charm, and an oddly specific thing I like about this song is listening closely to how she finishes each line. Khalees, who you may know for her milkshakes that bring the boys to the yard, is much more than that. She's an R&B legend, and Caught Out There, produced by the Neptunes, is one that you should definitely check out. I'm not exactly familiar with Kelly Clarkson's B-sides, so with me choosing one of her top songs, Since You've Been Gone has an edge to it that the others are missing.
I don't really know too much about Kelly Clarkson, so...
Kendrick Lamar's
Kendrick Lamar. Currently... Oh, man, bro. Kendrick Lamar. Currently, I'd have to say She Needs Me remix. Or... yeah, She Needs Me remix. That's all I got.
technical marvel that is near impossible to keep up with.
Not overall.
Look Out for Detox is one of the main things that helped me realize how special he was during his come up. A mainstay in any happy-go-lucky dance party playlist, Trampoline by KKB.
I'm just gonna have to stick with Flamingo.
Is pure serotonin. I have a lot of nostalgia for 17 by
Kevin Abstract. Peach.
By Kevin Abstract. I remember listening to it over and over again, waiting for new episodes of American Boy Band, but inherently, the song itself sounds like a memory. Sorry to do this again, but after scrolling through Kid Cudi's discography, going through the mixtapes, Man on the Moon, and so on, the song that I like the most right now is Erase Me.
Okay. He did say sorry. I'll accept that apology. Kid Cudi, currently, it has to be either Red Eye or man, I've been playing a lot of Man on the Moon 2 lately. All right, I'm gonna keep it simple. We're gonna go with 3 songs. Okay, we're gonna go Red Eye. We're gonna go Mojo So Dope, and we're gonna go Going to the Ceremony. One of the 3.
Featuring
that's
Kanye
as far
West.
as I can go.
Songs like Embrace the Martian and Up and Away used to be very sentimental to me, but I haven't been listening to him much within the past couple of years. I can probably recite the lyrics to When You Were Young backwards at this point, based on how often I played this song on Rock Band. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are fascinating because 1, I've never heard a bad song from them, and 2, I can't think of another modern band or singer that seems both progressive now and they would have fit in 50 years ago without obviously being a time traveler. Alone Omen 3 by King Cruel is compelling.
I only know one song by King Cruel, bro. I can't think of the name right now because I just heard about it. Dumb Surfer. That's all I know.
To me, because it almost seems like his strange version of talking his shit, or at least enjoying himself for once. When your music is known for being pessimistic, a change of pace like this can be refreshing. A lot of the big Kiss hits come off to me as corny novelty stuff, but I Was Made for Lovin' You sounds like an actual song that people would choose to listen to, if that makes sense, as opposed to Rock and Roll All Night and Detroit Rock City being very kitschy. It's the most obvious choice for a reason. Can't Get You Out of My Head is hypnotizing, futuristic, all around lightning in a bottle. Speechless is the song that
Lady Gaga. I like some of the Gaga songs. I don't think I have anything liked about her though. Yeah, no, I don't. I can't think of anything.
I think accurately represents how emotionally charged Lady Gaga's music can be. It's this strong-willed ballad with a stunning performance and even better writing. Not that I'm hating on the early stuff like Video Games and Summertime Sadness, but the greatest is just
okay, Lana Del Rey. I'm gonna go either Brooklyn Baby or Cherry. Nah, I'm gonna go Cherry. I love, man.
Just so much better to me. This is like the Lana Del Rey version of pure comedy, a wistful, melancholic review of the world as we know it. Incredibly real, scary, and ethereal. Laura Marling's Held Down, similar to my choice for King Cruel, is a much lighter track than what we're used to from her. Still though, there's a tender transparency that's unique to her music. New York I Love You by
LCD Sound System. What's the name of that song? There's this one song by them that I play all the time. It reminds me of a Target commercial, which makes me think I've seen it in a Target commercial or something. Someone Great by LCD Sound System. That's what I'm going with.
The Sound System is a sharply written ode to one of music's biggest hubs. Acting as one long crescendo, it begins as shy and sensitive, but eventually explodes into fireworks. Kashmir's one of those songs like Bohemian Rhapsody or something, where it's just so hard to believe that human beings were able to make this. Like, how did they do that? Left at London's The Ballad of Marian Zajanček tells the story of a congressman from the early 1900s who struggled with mental illness. It's riveting when musicians write about and are able to relate to random historical figures like this. You get to learn something new while also growing closer to the artist at the same time. I'm Your Man by Leonard Cohen is one of the coolest songs ever. This is peak performance. The takeaway show for No Room for Doubt is something I highly recommend. end. It's been a big inspiration for me wanting to film my own live sessions. Time for Heroes by the Libertines is more carefree than it is actually politically conscious, but it finds success in both avenues. The song that introduced me
Lil Uzi Vert, man. I'm gonna have to go current. Currently by Lil Uzi. I guess Pop or Pour Me Numb. No. Actually, forget both of those. Mood by Lil Uzi is my favorite song currently.
To Uzi, that accordion is something else, and the hook is catchy as ever. I feel like younger hip-hop fans don't quite realize how dominant Lil Wayne was during the mid to late 2000s.
They weren't paying attention, man, or they just weren't born yet, but I was there, and I remember, man. Lil Wayne, a Millie, or... Oh, man, because now I'm thinking about the mixtapes, the dedication mixtape, Sorry for the Wait. Ah, man, he's too good. He's too good. I'll just say a Millie, I guess.
Thousands. No Ceilings had an endless amount of bars on it, and Watch My Shoes is Wayne showing off for almost 5 minutes straight. Lily Allen's Not Fair is a song.
Lily Allen. I know of her name, but I can't think of it.
Writing lesson in the power of brutal honesty. It's a joy to listen to, and I'm sure it's very cathartic for many people. Pennsylvania Furnace by Lingua Ignota is like a full feature film in a song. It's not surprising that the music video is marvelous too. Numb Encore is the kind of...
Oh man, yeah, same deal, bro. Same thing.
French fry dipped in your frosty mashup that you might not expect to work, but it ends up being a fan favorite. If you want pure Linkin Park, though, In the End is always there too. Misunderstood by Little Sims is touching story.
Little Sims, I still haven't gotten into her like that, bro. I'm laughing,
Retelling
man.
by one of hip-hop's finest MCs, and I specifically love the hypothetical phone call part near the end of the track. Lord's biggest achievement.
Oh man, one of my favorites. She's the reason I listened to more than half of the stuff I listen to, bro. Lord, Ribs.
Achievement to date is still Ribs. It's a sleek, relatable,
so
moving piece that transcends labels, and the world is a better place with this song in it. I think the Lumineers are very okay, and you can pick any one of these popular songs that all kind of blend in with one another. Lupe Fiasco was one of my heroes growing up, and above all the politically or socially charged bangers that he's released, I like Fighters the best. I've had many introspective moments with this poignant song about family and navigating through life. MIA is one of the more unique, free-spirited artists of the...
MIA. And I don't want to be that guy and just say Paper Planes, but like... It's looking like that's all I can really go with right now, man. It's looking like that's really all I can go with right now, bro. So I'm gonna say Paper Planes, all right? If we're going off solo work and like not features or samples, Paper Planes.
21st century, and Bad Girls was her liberating middle finger to the world that came out around the time of her literal middle finger to the world. With Mac Miller, I've always thought it was...
Oh, Mac Miller. Currently, The Spins, or maybe... Man. Euphoria, Someone Like You... New Faces V2. I don't know, bro. Even Day Before by him and Young Thug is just stuck in me, especially since like the story behind that.
Sick that he got a Jay Electronica feature, so suplexes inside of complexes and duplexes, but I can't go without mentioning his heavenly tearjerkers of Come Back to Earth, 2009 and Good News. I just saw Magdalena Bay in concert recently, and Secret's Your Fire was just as good live as it has been in my headphones for the past few months.
Sick.
The breakdown that happens with Now This Place Is on Fire is irresistible. 1230 by the Mamas and the Papas gives me chills, and now thanks to Mr. Tarantino, it's practically the definitive theme song for old Hollywood in my head. Marina's Oh No is a great addition to the Hey Ya by Outkast school of songs that sound happy but are actually pretty depressing. I specifically enjoy the matter-of-fact way that she says, TV taught me how to feel, now real life has no appeal. Rest in peace to one of the most theatrical men to ever live. Meatloaf's I'd Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That is a spectacle from start to finish. The flair in in which he goes from the pre-chorus to the chorus is magical. Rust in Peace was one of the records that initially attracted me during my deep dive into heavy metal, and Holy Wars is a fitting introduction for something so dense and technical. Just thinking about drumming on this makes my entire body hurt. Something kind of in the same category, but also very different, Nothing Else Matters by Metallica shows the other side of the heavy metal coin. This genre is often a safe haven for people that feel like they don't fit in, and this song shows you that the best of the best can feel that way too. All caps when you spell the man name. I've honestly been sitting here.
All right, man. MF Doom. MF Doom, man. Recently, probably America's Most Blunted. I've just been playing that one a lot. Or Rhinestone Cowboy. But of course, I had to go with some Mad Villainy.
You're trying to write about Accordion by MF Doom for a good 20 minutes or so, and I'm just very thankful this exists. The way Doom flows on this unorthodox instrumental is creative food for thought that will stand the test of time. Michael Kiwanuka's Home Again is a weighted blanket on my most anxious days. It's something that heals you in real time, and I don't have a single bad word to say about it. I Bet on Losing Dogs by Mitski is...
I only know one song by Mitski, and I'm proud to say that, man. I'm not really, but I only know one song by Mitski.
Is a guilt-ridden soundtrack to any of us who have pursued or stayed in relationships that we know won't work. She's one of the auteurs of this generation, and this is very accessible for anyone that's been interested in checking her out, but hasn't done so yet. For my beloved Modern Baseball, I wanted to get representation for both of the lead singers and writers. Holy Ghost and Wedding Singer might as well be one song, and Jake's oddly specific phrasing is why I'm so obsessed with him. And then on the thrash particle, we get textbook, hyper-emotional Bren that pulls at my heartstrings every time. What sticks out to me about Trailer Trash by Modest Mouse is how the guitars interact with the lyrics of the song. For most of the runtime, everything is relatively clean and peaceful, but once the story ends, there's a ton of loud distortion, and it makes me think of getting something off your chest. Madlib on the beat, and then...
Okay, Most Def, I'm tripping. Most Def. Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't think of
two of the grooviest smooth talkers in rap history with Mos Def and Slick Rick. Thug's Mansion NY by Nas recreates a
Nas. I don't really have a favorite by Nas. I've never really been too into him. He cool though. Definitely a GOAT, but just, you know, if we going off of personal enjoyment, I don't really listen to Nas like that. So I'll have to say, I guess nobody. With Lauryn Hill.
Serene, pretty Tupac classic. This is like the dreamy version of It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. One of the world's greatest poets, my favorite Neil Young is Only Love Can Break Your Heart. I have a friend I've never seen. He hides his head inside a dream. That kills me every time. Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado featuring Timbaland is a tongue-in-cheek duet that's insanely entertaining.
Crazy good.
The chemistry between these two is evident during the back and forth conversational aspect of the track. Neutral Milk Hotel's Holland 1945 is controlled chaos at its best, and you can honestly describe this in whatever way you want. If you called it sad, yeah, it is sad. If you called it fun, sure. It's everything all at once, but somehow it's never too much. Another music nerd staple, but much more subdued, Nick Drake's Road is my go-to from Pink Moon. There's an optimistic loneliness to it, if that makes sense. Like being content with going alone down your own path, and I relate to that a lot. I'm a big fan of Nicki Minaj's I Endorse.
Nicki Minaj, I don't know, man. I don't think I really have a favorite by her anymore, man. But if anything, it'd be something off the Pink Print. So, nah, definitely not that. I like more than that. I guess Seeing Green. Because why not? Why not Seeing Green?
These strippers for obvious reasons. Both the 9 Inch Nails and Johnny Cash versions of Hurt are worth listening to, but Mr. Cash is missing one major component that the original has. The loud guitar. Nirvana's best music came out of Kurt's fragilest moments. It's obviously very sad and brutal that he's basically apologizing for being alive, but it made for a raw, beautiful song. I've had a soft spot for No Names Yesterday since her Tiny Desk concert. During a somewhat bittersweet, melancholy track, the chorus is hopeful and bright. Granted, the whole adult contemporary smooth jazz pop world can be rather dull. Don't Know Why by Norah Jones is the crown jewel of that space. It's the ideal, simple relaxation song. Suicidal Thoughts by Biggie was very
and recently, I don't know. This is actually very difficult. Maybe Kick in the Door. Kick in the Door.
Ahead of its time when comparing it to the rise of emo rap today. The beat sounds like we're in purgatory. We have the concept of Diddy on the phone trying to talk Biggie off the ledge, and the duration of the song is what really gets me. One long strung out verse, and then the phone hangs up. It's heavy. Don't Look Back in Anger is everything Wonderwall wishes it was and more. Spodioti Dopalicious by Outkast is first rate.
Outkast. Art of Storytelling, Part 1. Or, yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Art of
Storytelling. Andre 3000 takes us on a ride with a voice that's smooth as butter, and the horns on this deliver one of my all-time favorite riffs in music. For another musical moment often stuck in my head, Dimebag doing that high-pitched da-da-da-da on Pantera's Cemetery Gates is really gratifying to me. Possible hot take approaching, but I'm a much...
Paramore. Okay, my favorite band of all time. This is going to be difficult. Currently, Looking Up. That's just my favorite Paramore song right now. Overall, especially off of nostalgia, gotta be Ain't It Fun, man. Still NCU's up there, but
much bigger fan of Paramore's power pop than their pop punk. The 2013 self-titled album is well produced, and Still Into You is a banger. The chorus is the definition of the word anthemic. Take a guess of what my favorite funky art punk song is that revolves around 70s Dutch football tactics and the liberation of the working class. Anybody? It's Total Football by Parquet Courts. From a band that was the focus of one of the first videos on this channel, Peach Pit is either going to be the faster-paced album version of Drop the Guillotine or Black Licorice. The former is more relevant to why I started listening to them in the first place, and the latter is the poppier, cleaner cut of the two. While if I'm being honest, I would choose any Phoebe Bridgers song over a majority of the stuff in this video, Graceland 2.
I don't know any of her solo stuff, so I'm just gonna have to say The Night We Met. No, never mind. Loving Me by Kid Cudi and Phoebe Bridgers. I just have to go with it because I don't know any of her solo stuff, man. I haven't gotten into her yet.
Is the one that I have the strongest connection with. It's this sincere country ballad about trying to help someone that's going through something, and I see these lyrics as if they're scripture. I love them so much. Somebody suggested Phoenix, and I was like, oh, that song 1901 that was in FIFA, that's a good one. And now I'm just finding out that I'm having this Mandela effect where that song was never in any of those games, but I could have sworn that it was. Time by Pink Floyd is a
Pink Floyd, I might have to say the same thing. I don't really know too many songs about them. I still have to get into Pink Floyd, but I don't want to say Breathe in Air, so I'll go with Time.
Written gem about all the people in the world that don't even realize that life is passing them by. It's a valuable life lesson inside of a dazzling track. While I am a fan of insightful lyricists like Jay Electronica, Black Thought, etc., I'm also a fan of hearing Playboi Carti.
Yes, sir. Hype a jump out the house, bruh. Playboi Carti, man, I listen to him all the time. I'm gonna avoid leaks. Let's go for officially released songs only. So probably I don't know. So much I could go for recently. I've been playing Carti a lot less recently, actually. I've been trying to level out my Scrabbles and listen to more artists than just Cardi, because pretty much all year last year I was listening to a whole lot of Red every day, like literally. That was like, and then I got into Dial It again, and Cardi, man, I'll say I don't want to say Off the Grid. That doesn't count. Off the Grid does not count. So R.I.P. Why not?
They say jump out the house 33 times within a minute and a half. Poppy's I Disagree is an apocalyptic industrial metal song that also includes this deep, bass-heavy beat and elements of J-pop, which sounds strange, but trust me here, it's invigorating. I was a big fan of Porter Robinson's recent Nurture, and Look at the Sky is something that I've recommended to dozens of people. It's accessible in that it has some rewarding beat drops and a catchy hook, but there's also some good piano work and interesting glitchy stuff at the end, too. My favorite Prince song is the
I Would Die For You, only because I've been playing it a lot this week.
Archival single of Nothing Compares to You. When it comes to the arrangements of any song on this list, this might just be what takes the cake. There's a quality of balance shown here between when to take risks and when to hold back that blows my mind. This music video makes me want to throw up, but Do You Remember the First Time is my favorite Pulp song. There's nothing like singing along to Pup's morbid stuff to blow off some steam. It's plenty melodic, but also blunt and angry. I'm a fan of the closing title track on Like Clockwork by Queens of the Stone Age. It's got a strong build-up, and it's a slightly different avenue for Josh to show off his vocals. My favorite Ravi song is either the lush, bubbly Nora or the slightly more emo, dynamic Sticky. Both are tracks with great replay value. Radiohead is right up there with the Beatles for the how do I just pick one kind of thing. Okay, computer.
I'm pretty sure I only know one song by Radiohead. I actually don't.
Has always been very impactful for my taste in music, so my choices there are Exit Music for a Film, Let Down, Karma Police, and No Surprises. I do have to mention that I'm a proud defender of Creep, but favorite individual track-wise, it's most likely Weird Fishes. I'm still not sure if I like or hate Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Either way, I bet they put on a great live show, and that probably might make up my mind for them.
I know,
but for now, the song
Cocaine Jesus. That's the only song I know by them.
Where my thoughts are generally positive is Cocaine Jesus. I really like the part at the end when it goes ba 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 ba. I wanna be sedated. I don't have strong feelings about the Chili Peppers, so we're throwing in another nostalgic song that I would sing on Rock Band. Remy Wolf is one of the most exhilarating
Front Tooth, only because I've been playing that by them.
Up-and-comers in the game, and her recent album Juno displays her colorful, well-defined artistic vision in full effect. Buzz Me In is an addictive song about a booty call, and the vibes are immaculate. I think Belly the Grass.
Rex Orange County. Why can't I think of the title? Why can I not think of the title of this one song I'm thinking of? Television, So Far So Good. That's what I would. It's either that or Sunflower.
Stains by Rex Orange County is the deepest he's ever dug emotionally in his music. Lyrically, Pizza Box, Wedding Ring Left Amongst the Crust paints a vivid image of young love gone wrong, and sonically, there's a keyboard or an organ solo at the end that yields so many conflicting emotions. When Rich Brian dropped Yellow...
Rich Brian. I was gonna say a title, but I didn't say that song that much. It's cool, but definitely not my favorite. Rich Brian, off of nostalgia, I'm just gonna have to say Gospel, or Dat Stick, or Glow Like That. But for the purpose of the video, I'm gonna say See Me, because I really like that song.
My jaw was on the floor. Up until that point, his songs were fun, but I didn't exactly take him seriously as an artist. And then we get this eerie art pop R&B rap that's so memorable. The production has layer upon layer, and I find a new reason to appreciate this every time I hear it. Rico Nasty smack.
Yeah. Probably same thing for Rico, bro. I just love that song.
Which makes me want to fight somebody. Her screaming, "Oh my fucking God," is so electrifying. There's something kind of camp that I appreciate about Disturbia.
Rihanna. This one's tough. Nah, that one doesn't count, bruh. I was about to say a feature. Maybe no, maybe Needed Me. I guess. I guess. I don't know, bro. I guess Needed.
By Rihanna. The intro of "What's Wrong With Me? Why Do I Feel Like This?" is goofy, but she commits to it. And another bullet point to add to my list of musical cheat codes is crafting an earworm of random sounds like bum bum be dum bum bum be dum bum. For Rina Sawayama, I'll take both her song Bad Friend and its accompanying remix by End of the World. The original is this slow, shimmering ballad with some tasteful vocoder a la Imogen Heap, and the remix completely flips things on its head for an upbeat, cutesy dance pop track. There's this almost supernatural synth that plays in the background of Roy Ayers' Everybody Loves the Sunshine that alters an otherwise warm, romantic mood into something slightly mysterious. I admit that Roy Blair's delivery on Perfume is kind of annoying, but in a way that I personally enjoy. It gives off boy band energy, and there are little breakdowns throughout the song that help stabilize things. With Close Your Eyes and Count to we get my favorite beat in the RTJ discography, your typical above average verses from the guys, but then an A+ performance from the one and only Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine. Fiery, politically charged, and one of the best verses of the 2010s in my opinion. I think Rush's Limelight is their best song. It's catchy, but meanwhile we get changing time signatures, and the arrangement with the guitar solo spices things up in a really neat way. Saba's Prom slash
Saba. Prom King is up there. Okay. So I'm gonna say either Prom King or Busy / Sirens. One of the two. Prom / King or Busy / Sirens.
King is an underrated piece of storytelling from the last few years. You're able to empathize with him so closely, and this deserved a lot more attention. Sade's Cherish the Day sounds
what's the name of the song, bro? Kiss of Life. Basic, but I have to go with it.
It's like a relaxing bubble bath. If you're going for a comfy aesthetic, this will be right up your alley. Another favorite live performance is Shaky Graves putting everything he has into word of mouth on Audio Tree Live. He's doing the work of 3 people. It will give you chills, and if you're like me, it will make you wish that you were much better at playing the guitar. She Wolf by Shakira is odd, and that's what I like about it. Who was expecting this Latin pop star to drop an electro disco song with these very animated guitars at this stage in her career? The song Broccoli is so
either Broccoli or Crumbs.
Dumb, and I hold it near and dear to my heart. Yachty's verse is delightful nonsense, Drum is an expert at delivering hooks, and the beat with that piano and the boosted bass, it's a ton of fun. Slaughter Beach Dog's Acolyte is top 5 for me. I've seen the Audio Tree Far Out performance dozens and dozens of times, and the lyrics mean enough to me that I literally got it tattooed. While metal songs can sometimes be about feeling lonely because you don't fit in, they can also be about destroying the gates of heaven. Iconic riff, some of the premier production of the genre, etc. My favorite Slow Tie is his collaboration with Flume entitled
Slow Tie Doorman, as of right now.
High Beams. He absolutely bodies this cold, metallic, wonky beat, and his flows are on another level during that last verse. Smino delivers consistent
Smino. Okay, I could pull Spaghetti out now, but I feel like I still think of something better. Maybe I Deserve. I think as of recently, I Deserve has been one of my favorites.
Smooth, easy listening, and I Deserve is one that I think is pretty good. Morrissey sounds so pathetic in the most wonderful way on Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want, and that's only part of the reason why I think it's so good. Johnny Marr kills it on guitar and mandolin, and then we also just see how much of an impact you can make on a listener in under 2 minutes. I've talked a lot about my favorite songs, but I need to say that Tracks of My Tears by The Miracles, which is going in my Smokey Robinson slot, is one of the highest quality tracks I've ever heard. It's Motown at its best, and you can compliment everything about
For Smokey Robinson, I'll have to say Will You Love Me Tomorrow. Again, hijacked by Kanye West, but
it. The soulful vocal performances, the bittersweet lyrics, the tone of longing. It's staggering. I prefer Lush to Snail Mail's Valentine, and Stick might be the one that I replay the most. Her intonations during the chorus are both impressive and kind of funny with how dramatic they are. Circle the Drain by Soccer Mommy is right alongside Biba Doobie on my hypothetical She's All That soundtrack. The innate nostalgia is unreal, and the chorus screams coming of age movie. Cranes in the Sky by
Solange, man. She needs to drop her album, bro. Solange. Okay. I'm going to say either Dreams. Dreams or Bins. Or Sound of Rain. But Cranes in the Sky is up there.
Solange is the best song by anyone with the last name Knowles. Angelic vocals, introspective lyrics, and I would not argue with anybody if they said this was one of the greatest songs of the 2010s. I went kind of obscure with my Sophie pick, but she worked on this project called S-Fire.
I'm just gonna have to say Hard by her because that's the only song I could think of.
And the songs S-Fire 6 and S-Fire 7 are awe-inspiring. Their ability to pack so much feeling within 2 simple house tracks is superhuman. Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun is my favorite record of the grunge era. A lot of art, whether it be music or film, tangles with the concept of the apocalypse, and this example is for sure special. It's noisy and dissonant, and all throughout, there's something enticing about it, like a maze that you know you'll get lost in, but you try anyway. And for Chris, No One Sings Like You Anymore. Surgeon by St. Vincent is a song filled with tiny musical moments that I could rave about all day long. To name one, around the 3/4 mark, she says, before killing it with this spellbinding guitar riff. Tricks is the big song off of Stella Donnelly's debut album, and it skillfully showcases her unique quirks. Sonically, it's playful indie pop rock, but like with most of her stuff, there are blunt, political, or social messages that are going to get across to the listener, whether they like it or not. Okay, so for Stevie Wonder, my boring answer is Isn't She Lovely?
Stevie, I don't think I really have a favorite by Stevie Wonder. Pastime Paradise. I'll just stick with Pastime Paradise.
Perfect song, obviously, but I also want to shine a light on Girl Blue. This track from Music on My Mind is about 20 years ahead of its time. Stevie's utilization of the talk box makes this sound like a love song from another planet, and he plays every other instrument on it too. The man boggles my mind. Goodie Bag by Still Woozy was inescapable a few years ago, but this mellow, groovy bedroom pop has more heart to it than it might let on. The Strokes' At the Door was shocking to me when it came out. The minimalist, almost
Under Cover of Darkness.
Empty atmosphere on this song helps propel Julian's vocals to a whole new galaxy. It's the most excited I've been about a Strokes song since I first heard about them, and it seriously gives me goosebumps. Carrie and Lowell is a somber masterpiece, and while it's not talked about as often as 4th of July or Death with Dignity, No Shade in the Shadow of the Cross has grown on me so much over the years. You can hear Sufjan weak and trembling, trying to get these words
Visions of Gideon
out, and that last verse where he's realizing how far he's fallen is harrowing. I'm not stating anything revolutionary here, but I adore both the Wurlitzer and the falsetto on Supertramp's Goodbye Stranger. Oxygen by Swans is, well, overwhelming, and I think that's the whole point. Sweet Trip's Design 2-3 is a conceptual song symbolizing the post-mortem of a relationship. We begin with an aggressive shoegaze, but as the track progresses, things get a little softer as time heals all wounds. SZA's 20-something has always stuck out.
I don't really have a favorite by SZA solo. Not really into her solo work that much. Like, I like her stuff, but never really got into her solo stuff like that.
To me, as particularly vulnerable on an album full of transparency. It comes off to me as sort of a grass is always greener scenario. Growing up, you want independence, but once you finally get it, true loneliness and instability follows. How did Talking Heads come up with the melody for This Must Be the Place? How? We're almost done with this video, and I know I've talked a lot about stuff being the best, but this might be my vote for the single most pleasing sounding song ever. You put this track on and I turn into one of those toy monkeys with the cymbals, off in my own little world, ready to hear those notes for the millionth time. Did you know that this is on
Tame Impala? Man, I'm gonna have to go with Uh, no, bro. List of people to try and forget about, or maybe I don't know. Let me. Why won't you make up your mind? Yeah, one of those two, I guess.
Only one guy. I don't think this is recency bias because All Too Well has been my favorite.
Taylor Swift. Ugh. Difficult, bro, because I only know like a few hits. I still have to listen to her albums for real, bro. Paper Rings is good. I Knew You Were Trouble. That was a song that made me realize that I actually did like Taylor Swift, right? Because as a Ye fan, since I was a kid, I never got into Taylor, bro. I never did. To this day, I still don't know what video she won the Grammy for. I have no idea. But when it was New Year's Rockin' Eve 2012, she premiered I Knew You Were Trouble on there. I was like, oh, okay. This is hard. The video was cool. I liked it. I felt the vibe. And I was into EDM, and it had like a lot of EDM influence in the production. So I was like, all right, bet. So I guess that.
Favorite Taylor Swift song for years, and since the 10-minute version has come out, I've only enjoyed the additions that they made to it, and I strictly listen to this one now, so I guess the new one has taken over. Dragon Ball Durag is
Thundercats. Thundercat. Maybe Lava Lamp. I'll stick with Lava Lamp or Walkin'.
Thundercat in a nutshell. Ridiculously good bass, somehow even more ridiculous lyrics, and the best music video of the decade so far. For Timbaland, I'm choosing his production and feature on Sexy Back.
Valid for Timbo.
In somebody else's hands, this song wouldn't have been nearly as bold and luxurious sounding, and he deserves just as much credit, if not more, than Justin. I admire how much Todd Rundgren goes for it on Love of the Common Man, between the high note that he reaches for on Take a Dive from Your Ivory Tower, and the way he projects his voice throughout the track. He's like a theater kid that grew up to make pop rock. Bartender by T-Pain is one of
T-Pain. A lot of nostalgia here, bro. If we're going off solo work, I'm sprung.
These songs of my youth, and I would die for this man. From my perspective, anyone and everyone that was against his pioneering use of autotune on these delicious hooks is basically the old man yells at cloud meme. While he's crafted better songs as his
Travis Scott. Okay, currently Mafia. Overall, a lot of good choices here, bro. I'm a major Travis Scott fan. Again, not including leaks, not including songs that weren't officially released on streaming. Drugs You Should Try It. I just said things that weren't officially released on streaming, but it was a mixtape, right? It's not like it was, a Lucy or something like that. Drugs You Should Try It, I guess. We'll go with that.
His career has progressed. Travis Scott's days before
90210. I'm tripping. 90210.
Rodeo was the thing that caught my eye and made me see his potential. Gray and Drugs You Should Try It show that he could have been this like trap version of Tame Impala.
I feel like he was on that path for a while, especially in the days before Rodeo era. But then Rodeo, he kind of went like a little bit trippy, a little bit trap, and like a little bit like rock influence even. So I don't know. And then after that, he kind of just went like more trap focused. But we have some moments where he gets back to that, especially working with Tame Impala. We get back to that. But
real psychedelic stuff that is really pleasant on the ears. Turnstile dropped one of the best rock albums.
Turnstile, I just got into them, so I'm gonna have to say TLC
of last year, and Underwater Boy was definitely my cup of tea. This hardcore band has been flirting with dreamier, sweeter sounds, and this is the track where I think there's a good, happy medium of what they've been doing and the direction where they're possibly headed. I've been obsessed with the whole vibe of Second Time Around by Tuxedo since I saw their Tiny Desk in 2017. It's a really infectious song that I'd recommend to everybody. On the heaviest track of their best project, 21 Pilots tackles themes of fame.
21 Pilots off of nostalgia. I'm gonna say No, not Cancer. No, no. That's a good song, but it's not my favorite. Okay. Off of Nostalgia, it's either Stressed Out, Cancer, or Migraine.
Self-destruction, and the horrid way society can romanticize those things together. Neon Gravestones has a brave outlook on a topic that could be seen as controversial, so good on Tyler for writing this. There's a sense of adventure that comes with U2's I Still Haven't Found What
The Miracle of Joey Ramone. Only because of the 2012 or 2014 iPhone tragedy, right? When they put their album out with Apple Music, they made it free and automatically download on everyone's iPhone, right? Was very, very confused, but pretty much every single time I ever opened Apple Music, or sometimes when I wouldn't open Apple Music, The Miracle of Joey Ramone would play. So it's become one of my favorite songs in general, and it's like the only song I know by U2 solo.
I'm looking for that helps the song achieve a spiritual status. Unbelievers by Vampire Weekend sounds whimsical and uplifting, but there's a real sense of existential dread about the whole thing. I guess the end result.
I just realized we only got a few Lils in there. We only got Lil Uzi and Lil Wayne. Valid though, you know.
Is positive, but it's fascinating to analyze this as a critique of society and its lack of self-awareness. Sometimes the obvious answer is still the right answer.
Vince North, none. Nah, I love North North. That's definitely one of Vince's best songs, one of my favorite, one of the most enjoyable Vince songs. But currently, I'd have to say, Are You With That? Or Taking Trips. One of the two.
North North by Vince Staples is grimy, nihilistic, and he gives one of the best rap performances of the mid-2010s. Clamps Casino on the beat is the cherry on top. I literally used All Words Are Made Up by The Voids for a commercial that I had to make in college because it sounds like a song that would be in a commercial, but in the way that you would pull out your phone and Shazam it, not in a corporate evil way. St. Cloud was an album that took a while to grow on me, but when it did, it certainly struck a chord. The song Fire seems to be about self-worth, self-care, etc., and I think Katie's voice and cadences being so distinctive helps relay that message even more. The Weeknd's another one that I've been
The Weeknd. There's too many because I could go currently, I could go like 2 weeks ago, I could go a month ago, I could go nostalgia. I don't know, but I'm going to do something from Trilogy because I'm just loving Trilogy right now. So I'll say either Loft Music, The Birds Part 2, or Till Dawn, I guess. Or House of Balloons / Glass Table Girls. I don't know, bro.
Following for too long and who's transformed enough over time that I can't just pick one. I've always been enamored with Wicked Games off House of Balloons. The Hills was on constant repeat for me in 2015. I love the Daft Punk collab on I Feel It Coming, and the title track on After Hours feels like his version of Runaway. Tried and True is my #1 from Ween. The pitch down vocals and the acoustic guitar combine for something mystifying, and the lyrics are about
I don't have anything like
the meaning of life or something. I don't know, but I like it. I'm a massive fan of the Weezer White Album, and Endless Bummer is going to be the evidence for me making my case on why. I should really make a longer video about my perspective on this, but here's a quick breakdown of where I'm coming from. Viewing the band as the lonely, sarcastic emo guys that made Pinkerton, this is what happens when those weirdos try to make a fun summer beach album. For the god himself, Weird Al Yankovic, I always get a kick out of The Saga Begins because I'm a big Star Wars head, and then Trapped in the Drive-Thru did irreversible damage to my sense of humor at a young age. Again, thank you to Mr. Tarantino for reminding me how good this song is. Punchline after punchline and high energy with them by Young Thug is a...
Ooh, Young Thug. I thought that was about to be like Yachty or something, bro. Used Young Thug. I forgot that Thug wanted Ye to premiere that song at his listening party. Thug right now, either Day Before, Contagious, or Insure My Wrist. Currently, I've just been loving Punk. A lot of people kind of slept on that album. It hasn't hit them yet. It will though. That album's gonna age like wine, bro. It is. But With them is a good one. Check, probably check.
A blast.
Check.
I was going crazy when this premiered at the MSG Life of Pablo event. Crazy. So Yoshi City is
Young Lean, yeah.
My favorite Young Lean song, but can I just take a second to say how funny it is that you'll see people like him and the Mountain Goats going viral on TikTok? Not that I'm trying to gatekeep, I'm happy he's
no. I will gatekeep any of my favorite artists from blowing up on TikTok, bro. I will gatekeep till, bruh, like, oh my, when I heard that Lean was blowing up on TikTok, I stopped watching Reels. I really did. Like, I got tired of it. Because every 5 seconds, I just kept hearing the very first line of Ginseng Strip 2002. And it's like, bro, that song has, like, if anything, make a different part of the song blow up. For a different reason or something. It's just
getting more exposure. It's just weird. Very strange. In my opinion, Sore Throat was a big leap for Zach. There are some harmonies on this that feel like a warm hug, and the glitchy stuff is cool too. For my beloved 100 Gex, Stupid Horse and Ringtone are up there, but I also have to mention the second half of Get Get Get. This might seem like a lame pick in the grand scheme of their discography, but it's not living if it's not with you. But
the 1975. Got money, we got someone else or somebody else. I'm gonna say somebody else, because why not?
The 1975 is one of the best pop rock singles I've heard in a long time. Those opening few notes hook me in, and I stay for the paradox of upbeat jokes about struggling with your vices. And finally, hallelujah, 50 Cent's 21 Questions.
Pac not on the list? How? But 50 Cent, 21 Questions is good, but I think I'm gonna have to go with never. Those aren't solos. Many Men. Yeah, Many. I was gonna say I'm the Man, but Many Men, for sure.
Is a classic. The beat is extremely memorable. Nate Dogg doing what he does best on the hook, and I think it was a smart move for 50 to be more than just a gangster rapper. Putting out this romantic people person side of him probably opened up some new opportunities. For anyone that's watched this whole thing, which I honestly doubt, I feel like I've been talking to myself for the last half hour. Thank you for sticking with me. I've been curious about doing an obnoxiously long video like this for a while, and I don't feel like talking anymore. Bye. Hey, thank you for watching the most ridiculous video on my channel.
Valid, bro. W merch, W video, W channel as always. Alpha Media just does not miss. Every single video I've ever seen from him is a banger. So shout out to him for that, man. But yeah, of course, not every single artist made the list, because that would take way too long. It would have been like a 2-hour video, which mine is just over an hour and a half. So I'm also gonna stop the video now.